All right, good morning, everybody. We are here at the, let's see what it's called. I want to make sure I say it right. The International Motorsports Hall of Fame. And that's located here in Talladega, Alabama, here at the racetrack. As you can see, they have a few cars outside. It's pretty windy out here, so we'll get on inside. What they've got a car show here today. They got cars inside the building, they got cars out back, and then they have their normal display cars. This place is incredible, and it goes on and on and on. So let's get inside and get out of this wind. All right, guys, let's go into this part of the museum, see what we can find. Oh, get a load of this car right here. 1988 Winston Cup champion. Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. He's the reason we got restrictor plates today. Look at that, a record speed of 209 miles an hour on a NASCAR track. Incredible. Really, really incredible. $1988 Davy Allison car. Oh, here's Dale Jarrett. I don't actually remember this car, this color, this paint job. Let's get a look inside this car for a second. $1987 Monte Carlo. You could buy a few of the street versions that had that back window like that. I never cared for it that much. $1983 Chrysler Imperial. I didn't know they ever raced that particular vehicle. $1977 Oldsmobile. No, Darrell Waltrip. I remember this car. Gatorade. Take a look inside. I mean, that seat, look how unsafe that appears compared to the newer ones. This is a 1977. Wow. Here's another 70 model, 1978 Dodge Magnum. Car was built by Petty Enterprises. Here's a 1972 Ford Torino. This was driven by Red Farmer. He's one of our local racers. Fireball Roberts. Nothing to protect your neck if you ever in a wreck. $1940 Mercury sedan. Look at that. Crew cab style with suicide door. and they're going to race it. Car ran on the beach in 1947. There's another Miller car from 1986. Here's another Miller car, driven by Bobby. He drove this car to victory in 1986. And then here's Davey Allison's car. Many of y'all don't know anything about Davey Allison. He was the son of Bobby Allison. And he was killed here in Talladega, but not in a car. He had bought himself a personal helicopter. And he didn't have that many hours flying helicopter. And he actually crashed it into the fence here at the racetrack and was killed. There's a picture of him right up there. So it was really a shame. He was really a great driver. And here we got little midget go-karts. Basically go-karts that look like race cars. Kind of cool. Alright, here's another car of Davey Allison. Here's a better picture of Davey. Him and his family. I remember him more for this car with the bright orange Texaco. Pretty cool. Here's a Bobby Allison car. A 1977 AMC Matador. I never even knew the AMC had a race car, to be honest with you. Here's a Neil Bonnet car. Budweiser and KFC. Need some beer and chicken? (1985) Ford Thunderbird. Here's a 1989 Buick Regal. Here's a cool looking car coming up right here. It's a 1974 Dodge Charger. He won a national championship in 1974 and 76. Oh, I remember these Skull Bandit cars from back in the day. There used to be two of them on the track at the same time. This one was driven by Harry Grant, and I think maybe Buddy Baker, I'm not sure. May have driven the other one. Pennzoil car. 2007 Richard Childress car. It was driven by Kevin Harvick. I'm going to go around here and look on the other side and look at the seat in this one. I'm sure it's going to be a much safer. Oh yeah, see, look at this. To protect the neck, keep them strapped in. Look at how much safer this is compared to the old ones. I mean, these guys could still get hurt because of the speeds that they're going. But NASCAR's done everything they can to try to make it safe. You know, they got these little flaps up here. You've probably seen those open up. See the other one over there on the other side? These flip up if the car's going backwards. Catch wind, keep the car on the ground. Here's an old Oldsmobile. I don't even know if Crown Gasoline is around anymore. I don't think that it is. (1992) Buick Grand National. Clifford Allison. Here's the sad part, guys. Bobby Allison, one son was killed in a helicopter crash, which I told you about. And then Clifford Allison was killed in a race car accident. So he lost two sons. Very tragic, very tragic. Here's a 1992 Oldsmobile. Let's take a look inside of this one. Here's a Chevy Lumina, a 1993 model. And here's a Darrell Waltrip car. It's kind of cool that they've preserved these cars for us to be able to come and see. Again, beer and chicken. Because if you think about it, what do you do with an old outdated NASCAR? Can't drive it on the street. You really can't use it for racing anymore. So you save it for the history and the memorabilia. Richard Petty's 1974 Dodge. I tell you, a cool looking car to me is this Buick Miller High Life car here, Bobby Allison's. It's just so old school looking to me. And I guess just because it's 1988 model, it's just years that I remember. And then of course, this is Alan Kawicki's car. And those of y'all that don't know, Alan Kowicki was killed in a plane crash with the owner and the owner's son of Hooters. And they were all killed in a tragic plane crash. Let's see what else we can find. M&M's. David Gilliland. Amway. Here's another Amway car right here. Petty Mosey. Sonny King Ford of Anniston. That's a local Ford dealer. Donnie Allison. 427 cubic inch. It's a 1969. Let's go over and take a look at Dale Earnhardt's car. Boy, I tell you what, I remember the Wrangler car right there from the early days. And then, of course, here's Dale Jr.'s Budweiser car number 8. All right. Got number 24, Jeff Gordon. I was a Jeff Gordon fan. There for a while, it was like people wouldn't want you to be a Jeff Gordon fan and a Dale Jr. fan, but I liked them both. Jimmy Johnson's car. (2006). I actually may have been at that race, actually. Why don't you look at that seat? They're trying to protect you, aren't they? Get a load of this thing. I don't know if you can see down in there or not. (48,000 horsepower. Broke the speed of sound. I reading that right? All right, let's go over here. 1956. An Indy Roadster. Let's go right here to the other side. Looks like we can see inside the cockpit a little better. Now, could you imagine driving this car? An open wheel car. There's the tire, and you sit right there. And look how old the gauges are. Looks like airplane gauges, don't it? Matter of fact, I'm gonna say that it is. Sponsored by Studebaker. Is the car a Studebaker? What does it say? Yep, a Studebaker STP Special Indy Roadster. How about that? I didn't know Studebaker was ever into any kind of racing. That seat don't look nearly as safe as that other one, does it? (1978) modified. And here's a Neil Bonnet car. Neil was another local Alabama racer who had retired from racing and then decided to make a comeback, and when he made his comeback he was killed in a race. Here's a Charger. Buddy Baker. I remember when Buddy was racing. All right, guys. So far, so good. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. That's a sweetie. You know that it looks good. I probably shouldn't touch. Don't touch. I don't like to touch people's stuff. I mean, I know this car belongs to the museum and all, but we should admire. Now, I take that back. You know, this car could actually belong to an individual, and it's on loan to the museum, because that does happen a lot. All right, guys. Here, let's go out here. See what we got out here. This museum goes on and on and on. I'm probably not going to get it all today. We may make another trip back up here. And do nothing but the museum. Look at that. Hemi Hurricane, baby. Wheelie bars. A chute. Chrysler emblem. What is this? It is considered a 1940 Willis Coupe, the Hemi Hurricane. All right, 1941 Ford Super Deluxe convertible. A 1984 Dodge Daytona. I remember these cars when they were on the road. 1948 Plymouth Super Deluxe. You know, I guess I didn't realize NASCAR had been around that long, because it says here 1998 was 50-year anniversary. And that was a while back. Well, here's a little truck series. I never watched the truck series too much. Get a load of this. Red Farmer.
Oh, look at the truck.
It's a 2004 Ford Taurus, but it's got a Chevy motor in it. And then we got a 1990 Ford Thunderbird. Then we've got a sprint car here. It says this car won the sprint title in 1996. Look at the tires. Think they were hot. It is amazing to watch the sprint car races and the dirt track races, the way they slide, the way those cars slide in the curves. Actually, dirt track racing is fun to go see. If you haven't ever been to one, you need to go to one. For years and years, I had some friends that tried to get me to go, and I would never go. And then I just recently went to one and enjoyed every minute of it. It was absolutely a blast. What do we got here? 1983 Pontiac Trans Am. It was the official pace car. Not really loving it, guys. I'll be honest with you, it's just, I mean, you know me, I'm a Pontiac Trans Am guy, but I'm not loving that one too much. Alright, a 1981 Buick Regal, and this was a pace car in 81. Kind of seems odd, doesn't it? I guess it's got T-tops. This little mini convertible would come down. Not really my thing either. Sunny King Mitsubishi. Get a load of this little thing right here. I'm not sure what it is, but let's see if we can find out. I don't know what it is. Get a load of this. Get a load of how wide that is. I mean, that is a wide vehicle.
Is this a Tesla?
$396. 1968 Camaro pace car. Now, obviously, I'm gonna like this old Camaro. All right, guys, let's go to the other part of the museum, see what we can find. Alright guys, let's go over and see what we can find. Looks like there's some old vintage motorcycles over here. Got a few go-karts in here. It's actually some pretty cool stuff. Look at this old 1940 Indian. Man. A little go-kart, you want to ride that? That old Honda, she don't look too comfortable, does she? Now once you look at the trophies, this little bitty booger one. Look at the driver. Hopefully there's no glare on her picture. 1968 Yamaha. 1966 Honda. Wow. Let's see what this little bitty one here is. Another Honda. 1965 Honda. A 90. And then what's this? 1964 Honda. I mean, get a load of these little go-karts. No telling how fast some things will go. Boy, that's vintage. Get a load of that. Let's see what year that is. Doesn't say. Just says world's fastest kart. Oh no, 152 miles an hour? No, not me. Wow. Get a load of this. Wow. This museum just goes on and on and on. If you ever have the opportunity to come here, I think you would enjoy yourself. There is plenty here to see. That's for sure. That's for sure. Oh look, and they've kind of cut the car in half so you could see what it looks like underneath the skin. That looks pretty cool right there. It looks good. Let's look at these wrecks. Oh, look at this. From 1996. Ricky Craven. Holy cow.
Amazing.
And here's Dale Earnhardt. One of his mini wrecks. This car was driven by Neil Bonnet. There's not hardly anything left of this car. Look at that. One of Michael Waltrip's wrecks. Wow, I never knew he was in a wreck that was that bad. Pontiac Grand Prix, 1990. Get a load of this Super Sport, guys. Impossible 1. Isn't it nice to be an American? Actually, it said, isn't it nice to be in America? But I'm going to say yes to both. 692 races, 676 wins. That's a pretty good average. I'm not sure what that most wanted list is. That must have been some of their competitors. Put their name on the car and checked it off when they beat them. A few of them names didn't have checks by them. I wonder if they never beat them. Look at that thing, 1937. Chevy modified. Wow. I mean, somebody really wanted to race this? I don't know. $1955. Here's a long wheelbase C10. 1971. World's fastest closed course pickup in 1976. 427. STP son of a gun. I remember that stuff. $1934 Ford sedan. All right. Y'all want to go into the Dale Earnhardt Gallery? Hey, Dale. We'll be inside. Alright guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, this feels a little weird. It almost feels like you're at his funeral. I mean, it's like the casket could be right there. It's a very strange feeling in here, actually. And they got a lot of nice photos and some cool stuff. But this room kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. Alright guys, I want to show y'all something right here. Kind of breaks my heart to see this car sitting like this. But it is what it is. Here it is. It is the official pace car of the Talladega 500. She's in sad shape. I don't know if the museum is planning on restoring it. What their intent with this car is. There's a little bit of rust up here on the top side. T-tops look okay. It's the 1980 Pontiac Turbo pace car. It was the official pace car of 1980. It was the first turbocharged car in the United States. Now, I did not know that. These rims are similar to the ones on the 10th anniversary Trans Am. The only difference is they painted this in here, where on my car they're polished. But now that painted white looks good with this white car, because you can imagine this car is the same color right in this area as my car is. This car is no longer the thing. It was originally the same color as mine. And it had a pretty bird on it. The Turbo 4.9, which is just a 301 Pontiac motor. They put that turbo on there to actually give it some power. It was when the government was cracking down on the big V8s and everything was having to be emission controlled. So anyway, kind of a sad sight. They must be planning on doing something with these cars, because here's another, you know, old pace car, 1982. And maybe they're just going to leave them like this, and they're just part of the history, and they sit out here. They're under a slight cover here. Then you got the same thing again down here with this Pontiac 2+2. They like to use these Pontiacs for pace cars. I take all three of them if they don't want them. Something tells me they want them. 1987 Pontiac Grand Prix. See, there's that windshield I was telling you about on some of them. I didn't really ever care for that windshield. I liked it. Other models, the windshield just went straight down the back, and then you had a traditional trunk lid. They did that for aerodynamics, so they could run them on NASCAR. You had to mass produce so many for the public to be able to use it in NASCAR back in the day. I don't think so much anymore. Alright guys, I had a great time today. And thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye. Alright guys, let's go for a short little ride.